Hey everyone, this is Caroline. Welcome to another webcast on my channel. We're actually broadcasting on Facebook, on several pages, and YouTube. So I hope you are joining somewhere. So let me first of all welcome my friend Xavier. He's here to help get your questions together. So if you, at some point, if you want to start typing down your questions, then he will collect them for me and then I will try to answer them. In the meantime, while we're letting everybody join, of course, the big news, yay, finally, the movie Superhuman, The Invisible Made Visible is coming out in 2 days. 2 days, yay. I can't believe it, finally. The 14th of July. Of course, you can already order the film right now, actually. Just go to superhumanfilm.com. And actually, when you order it now, you get bonus clips. And so I highly recommend that you do that, even if you've seen it in a sneak preview. Make sure you get the film again, because this is filled, packed with information, all kinds of very important information that you will want to review and share with your friends. This is not a film that you just watch lightly and you forget about it. Very, very important material. So I hope you have already ordered it. If not, do so now, superhumanfilm.com. Okay. Also, moving forward, because the film will be out, I am going to have different guests come on. So every weekend, we're going to have an actor from the film or a scientist, different experts in the field. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And so that's the reason why I encourage you to watch the film so that you can ask questions and see how these folks have contributed to the film. That is starting next Saturday. We're going to do Saturday and Sunday webcasts, and then after that, Sunday. But anyway, just stay tuned. And by the way, for those who are new, just subscribe. That way you know what we're doing, and then you can always get that feed and see what we're up to, okay? Very, very important information. Also, because we are not just talking about mind over matter, many people talk about it. We have been talking about it. This is demonstrating, this is showing, validating, scientifically showing experiments that show how this is possible. And so because of that, we're also teaching classes. In fact, we just finished a series called Superhuman Online, and we have upcoming classes again to teach telekinesis, all kinds of mind over matter stuff, specific meditation techniques, and also blindfold. You know, you've seen in the trailer kids and adults also moving around, doing all kinds of stuff with the blindfold. So we have offered classes for kids, and it was incredible. Like in 2 sessions, the kids were able to read. That's like insane. Okay. So, and for those who are still doubting, all they have to do is try it. You just try it. Try it for like 2 minutes and see if you can do anything with these blindfolds on. So anyway, incredible stuff. Again, even the classes information, the ones coming up, are on the website. So just go there and you'll find everything. Okay. For those who are just joining, again, welcome. We have people from all over. I love it. Greece, Switzerland, US, Nevada, California, Canada. This is so cool. I love this. And so we also have somebody with me. Like I said, Xavier is here. Say hi, Xavier. Hi, Caroline. So we do have a live person who will be collecting your questions. So make sure you write them down. Yes. Okay, so moving ahead, I actually, every week I wonder, okay, what am I going to talk about? This situation is kind of the same, and I like to talk about things that are empowering, or after we discuss something, then I want to provide a tool. I want to say, okay, now what? What do I do about this? I feel like the important topic today, for me anyway, and I think for you, is how do you deal with uncertainty? Because this is what's actually happening. A situation, we're being told schools will open, they're not going to open, you can go here, you can't go here, you have to wear a mask, you can't wear a mask, the laws are being created, all kinds of stuff is coming up. And so a lot of people are questioning, what is my future going to look like? I just lost my job, I don't know if I can pay rent. What if my kids don't want to go to school? Vaccination, no vaccination. So all of this whole situation is triggering this huge wave of uncertainty. I guarantee you're going through something like this. You can comment or write down if that is triggering what you're going through. And also a sense of you're having to change your plans because of this uncertainty. Oh, I was going to go on holiday, but now I'm not going to. Oh, we were, when the kids go back to school, I was going to do this, but now I can't. So all of this kind of upheaval, all this things coming up and messing up your future is what you're facing right now. And so the thing is, how do you deal with this? How do you cope with this? Because in the face of uncertainty, it triggers anxiety, like fears, all kinds of fears, all kinds of things start to come up for you that perhaps couldn't have come up otherwise. And so exactly, so you feel like stuck, like how do I move forward or even envision or visualize my future? So here's the thing. I started looking at this whole thing, and in a way, in a strange way, we're always living in uncertainty. I mean, think about this. You get up in the morning, you're the same person, your cells look the same, your body looks the same, slightly different, obviously, but at least on one level, you're kind of the same person. You do the same thing, you take a shower, you do whatever your routine is, you eat the same breakfast or similar anyway. Your kids are going to school. Like, it's almost like your routine is the same. You are the same in the world, maybe slightly changing, but not that much. So that routine gives you an impression, the illusion that you are okay. You're safe because you're still there. Your kids are still there, your job's still there. So that routine gives you this sense of feeling okay, a sense of certainty. When in fact, that is really not the case. It's an illusion, or it's a mindset. For example, first of all, you all know that your cells are constantly changing. We know that. I mean, this is common knowledge. Your blood cells are changing, your liver cells are changing. Everything about your physicality is changing constantly. All you have to do is look at a cell under a microscope and you'll see it's constantly rotating. It is not finished. It is constantly evolving. Even if it's 0.0001% different from moment to moment, it is still different. This means that your physical body and you are never finished, are never stop evolving. And so this means that you are not certain. You are the way you are evolving has a level of probability, because obviously from day to day you're not going to drop 20 pounds, for example, because the level of probability is very very low in that case, but other things could change dramatically. For example, you could have a spontaneous healing or what have you. All this to say that you are in constant becoming. You are not finished. And so if you are not finished, then the world around you is also not finished. It's also being created. This is what I call the world of probability. The way folks who have studied with me know exactly what I'm talking about. And so this means that actually we think we're certain, we think we're safe, but we are actually continuously changing and evolving and continuously interacting with a level of uncertainty. So there's different levels of uncertainty. There's a small level of uncertainty, very high levels of uncertainty. And but I think the difference today with what's happening is that everybody has to now pay attention to these new rules or these kind of parameters that they are telling us we should have. And so we have to now operate and add to our world of probability this new probability, the vaccine, or the schools aren't going to open, or you can't travel. All of these are new parameters and limitations. And so how do you deal with this? You actually, to me, the first thing is to begin to realize what I just said, that actually these levels of uncertainties were there. The only difference is that right now it's a little bit faster. It's a little bit more common to the whole country or the whole world. And so the fact that they are faster or bigger or more in your face doesn't change the fact that you are still creating your reality. That doesn't change who you are. That doesn't change your interaction with the uncertainties. And this is a hugely important point, because you can throw one uncertainty in my face. You can throw 2 or 3 or whatever. It doesn't really change my ability to create. You just have to think about those additional things. And in fact, it's kind of like they're not that different, because sometimes you think you're under the impression that your life is certain, that you are safe, that you're going to the same job every day. But even under normal circumstances, it's very, very possible that on that day, for whatever reason, you get fired, or you do something, or somebody else gets something, or you get a new boss. Things could happen that are beyond your control that could also make you lose your job that day. Or again, you could become sick or become unsick, overnight. Or, you think you're safe, but then you go, I don't know, you cross the street and then you fall and you trip over something and then you twist your ankle. You weren't planning on that. You weren't planning on losing your job that day. You weren't planning on twisting your ankle. You weren't planning on all of these things. But yet, these were all kinds of uncertainties and probability. They were just invisible to you. You weren't thinking about it. The fact that you're not thinking doesn't mean they were not also part of the probability. So the difference is now the world is making you think. The world is bringing up all these uncertainties in your face so that you can consider, oh, you could lose your job tomorrow. Oh, you could change your whatever. You have to change your plans. Oh, this could happen to me if I go here. I'm going to get sick or whatever. Oh, if I take the vaccine or this. So what I'm trying to say, and I hope you can start to understand where I'm coming from, or where I'm going with this, is that whether we were aware of it or not, we were actually living in a huge amount of uncertainty, and the world of probability actually has not changed at all. And so as you move forward, you begin to assess things differently. But the fact that you have not changed is not going to take away your ability to still create. So now we talked about in fact, we talked about this last time, I think in the last webcast. I was saying that even though the circumstances are being created for you, there are laws that you have to abide by or what have you, but you can still create your outcome within that reality. I think I shared with you when I got stopped by a cop. I had 3 violations, and I could get away with it with not even a scratch, because I was very conscious of sending out the signal of, I want to be safe. I want to get out of this without a scratch, and I did. And so I did not change the laws. I did not change the rules. I changed, or I created the outcome that I wanted within this larger framework. It's kind of like if there's a hurricane coming, we know it's coming because we can see it, we can study it, we can measure it. I mean, it's scientifically, you can totally see. So what do? You know, a major hurricane is coming. You board up, you make sure you have enough food or water, whatever. You prepare for that hurricane to come. But you all know that many, many times, even though the level of certainty of the path of this hurricane is getting bigger and bigger, so it's getting much, much, much certain and clearer that it is going to hit Miami, like straight in the center or what have you. It is coming in this direction. So the level of uncertainty is less and less and less. But even with that, you can create your own reality. And by the way, very, very often we've seen Category 5 hurricanes go straight to a target. And then at the very last moment, I think it's Hurricane Andrew, you can look it up. Major Hurricane 5 going straight to Florida, I can't remember, Miami or the Keys or something. At the very last minute, it just turns, it veers to the west, I believe, and it crosses over the entire region in a different way at the very last minute. So what I'm saying, the level of uncertainty was less and less and less. The probability was higher and higher and higher. It was going to hit, and yet it doesn't. So you can create that this outer reality happens, but curves somehow and avoids you, or that, again, like I did with the cop, or with the hurricane, same thing. You can intend that no matter what the hurricane is doing, you are going to be safe. Your stuff is, your family's going to be safe. You can board up and you can be prepared. Of course, there's nothing wrong with doing the 3D typical stuff, and that's okay. But also energetically, your intent, your consciousness, knowing and understanding that this is a dynamic, nothing is finished, nothing is finite, ever. So you are not finished, this reality is not finished, the hurricane is not finished, everything is being created, And so because of that dynamic, you can change, you can move things around, and maybe you create, so it depends on you, what do you want to create? Do you want to create that the hurricane, curves to the left or to the right or whatever at the last second? That probably has a lower probability and a higher level of uncertainty, because you are against something that is part of, the natural forces of the universe. And also other people aren't creating with you. You're not the only one who lives in Miami. And so that is probably a little bit harder to create, although I'm going to come back to this possibility as what you can create for the collective. But anyway, just stay on track here. So it's probably easier for you to create your safety within this larger reality. Does that make sense? And so this should help you refocus and change your perception that what is happening on the planet right now, all these uncertainties that are popping up and making you scared, making you insecure, making you afraid of your own, like I can't even plan, I can't even create my question. All of these feelings, or depressed, or just kind of wanting to give up or procrastinate, whatever negative effect it's having on you, I'm hoping that this shift in perception will empower you to remember that actually nothing has changed in the fact that your ability to create is still the same. It's the same. It's just different set of circumstances. Make sense? And so another thing that I like to I always like to share tools and practical things. Another thing, we did that in a class yesterday, actually, where you are able to merge with the information. So we did that with a target, actually, because we're bending spoons and doing telekinesis and all kinds of stuff. But you can also do this with anything, any form of energy, any form of consciousness. So you're going to say, wait, like a physical object has a consciousness? It does. It's a long conversation. It's a different way. It's not the same type of consciousness than you and I have, or the dog or whatever. So, but you assume that it has, just for the sake of this exercise. And the way we do this is your higher consciousness merges with its higher consciousness. Yes, you heard me right. Pretend that the physical object or the virus or the pandemic is a being. Just pretend. And it has a higher consciousness. In that case, the higher consciousness doesn't mean that it can think higher. It just means that it is the part of it that does not have any external human projection. So you know how you can project your fear, you can project your energy, you can project your insecurity on anything. You can do that on your kids, on dogs, on animals, even on furniture. You project your energy. So people are projecting their energy on the pandemic. They're projecting their energy on 5G. They're projecting their energy on the vaccine. But the vaccine itself, before anybody projected its energy on it, or its feeling or its fears, existed on its own, in its pure essence, in a way, as a potential energy. Okay, because it's not here yet. I mean, it is, but that's a different conversation. Okay, so what can you do? What you can do is pretend that whatever you want to know about has a level of awareness outside human projection, and you merge with that. You pretend like you are becoming one with its higher self. And when you do that, you retrieve information that is accurate about the subject, not what they want you to believe, what they want you to think or feel or whatever. It's the vaccine. What is it going to do? Does that make sense? So as you do that, you ask the question, okay, we know 5G is coming. So is 5G harmful to me? What do I need to do to protect myself? Same with the vaccine. We know the vaccine's coming. They told us it's a probability. And so you do this exercise, you merge with it, and you will be amazed, you will be surprised, actually, to notice that you actually receive information. You actually get information very accurately outside what people are telling you that you should do, you shouldn't do, you should believe, you shouldn't believe. You should believe, you shouldn't believe. Yeah? And so yesterday we were doing this exercise and in the class, and we were merging with the 5G, and it turns out, in fact, I'd like you to do it on your own, but just as an FYI, since we're having this conversation, when we merge with the 5G consciousness outside of what we're being told, we notice, first of all, it's still a potential. It's not really here yet, first of all, in the sense that it's not on top of you, although it is in some areas. But more importantly, that it was not going to have the effect on you the way you think. I feel the 5G situation is like this hurricane. I feel like it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's going to be implemented, it's going to do this. And then at the last minute, somehow we're going to be able to avoid it. That's another conversation we can have another time. But that's what I feel is coming when I fast forward in the future, the timeline of the 5G and people creating it. And so same with the vaccine. Okay, we're so afraid the vaccine. Some people don't want the vaccine. Some people are fine with the vaccine. But the question is it going to affect my body in a negative way? So you merge with the potential of this vaccine, even though we don't know who's making the vaccine or how it's going to come out or whatever. But it still has a potential. It's still in the world of probability right now because people are creating it. And so as you merge with it, you notice that the vaccine may or may not have the effect that you think it is going to have. So my point of this is this exercise allows you to know the truth, to step away from the fears, step away from what people are telling you this is going to do to you, or this is what's going to happen to you. This is how you're going to have to change your life, recreate your life because the vaccine does this or that or whatever. And so to me, again, this is a simple exercise that will help you shift back to, wait a minute, to the now. It brings you back to, first of all, the vaccine and all of that is a potential. It's in the world of probability. It hasn't happened yet. You haven't happened yet. Think about that. You are not finished. It is not finished. So why are we freaking out about something that's still a potential? That's number one. So you bring back your focus to today. Today, I am totally safe. I'm not harmed by this energy that is created by others. So right there, you are more centered, you're more calm, you're more present, you are in the now. Then you can create better. Then you can create the future. Was that helpful? I hope so. All right. Should I stop here for a second? Yeah, I want to tell you something else, but let's see if there are questions because actually in the movie, there's a line that I say actually. I say, what do I say? Oh my God, forget my own lines. It's empowering to think that you live in a world or a reality that hasn't happened yet. It is you. It is your consciousness that is reaching in the world of probability and bringing it into existence. Think about that. You are reaching in the world of probability and you are bringing it into your existence. And so that is what I want you to kind of see if you can do. Okay, let's see if there are any quick questions. Xavier, I see a bunch of typing. What's going on?
Actually, one of the questions was, how do you empower yourself?
Okay, well, I think everything I've been saying is about empowering yourself. It's about, again, remember, there's a guy I know who said, be in the world, but not of it. Just remember that. It means that you are still in this chaos. You are in it. Let's not pretend that this is a virtual reality that doesn't exist because that's another, it's a little, I'm like playing with words here, but you live in a collective consciousness. Everybody is creating a reality. You're not the only one on planet Earth. So you are in it, but you're not buying into it, and you're not creating according to what they're telling you should do. That is what I'm saying is empowering. No matter what the uncertainty is, no matter what they throw in your face, no matter what they come up with. I'm telling you, I have been able to avoid all kinds of stuff, making myself invisible, passing through things. And again, I'm not saying you're gonna get away with murder. That's not the thing. But as long as you're aligned with the highest good, with the higher good, with the greater good, then you always will create your reality within the larger reality. Go ahead. Xavier.
Yeah, all right. Another question is, what is the new normal? Like, how have our routines changed?
Yeah, again, so this is not to say or to pretend that our lives are going to be the same as before, like I said. But again, you live in a collective. The collective is creating. So right now, the collective has created new parameters, new rules, or new limitations. But honestly, like I said, these limitations were different, but they were always there. You see, they were invisible, I feel. Like the fact that you could just pick up and take a trip anywhere, anytime you want. Yes, that's a form of freedom. It is freedom, of course. Now you're being told, well, no, you can't. You have to wait till the borders open or whatever, whatever. So it's just an added kind of set of limitations. But to be honest, you are limited in so many other ways. To me, the only difference is that those new limitations are different. They're new. And we just have to adjust. We have to adjust, but always knowing that you can still create your reality within the limitations, within the new laws. You can still find a way to go on vacation if you want. You can still find a way to go. They're showing people at Disney World or Disneyland. I can't remember. Is it LA or California or Florida? With masks on. Okay, so that's what they chose to do. You see? So it's not like you can't go on holiday. You can go on holiday, but maybe you have to wear a mask or something. So what I'm saying is, or maybe you don't have to. Maybe you don't wear a mask, even though it's a law somewhere, and then nobody sees you, or you don't get. So what I'm saying is, you can still create your reality even with the limitations. Now, having said that, the new limitations aren't that fun because it disrupts what we normally do. Again, going back to normal. But again, in a strange way, when you look at it from a bird's eye view, perhaps on a collective, on a planetary level, this is what needed to happen for everything to come out and be in our face. None of these systems were working. These systems, the healthcare, the government institutions, you name education, hello, are corrupt and do not serve humanity in the most aligned way. So we're going to be inconvenienced. Okay. I mean, I'm bored. Sometimes I'm like, wait, I kind of want to take off and go somewhere, But so I do have those moments. You do have those moments. Or what do I do with the job? Or what do I do something more serious, people who have kids or whatever. So you do have those moments. But first of all, we are all in this together. Like it's almost like we're all having to readjust. That's the thing. It's not like just you or just this country or that, because of that also, you should feel a sense of connection. I feel connected to all of you. I feel like I'm not the only one who thinks this is nuts. I'm not the only one who thinks that I can still create my reality. I'm still going to create my reality no matter what happens. No matter what happens. And so that's why I can still find a way to connect, through virtually with you, but other people. I'm starting to know neighbors that I've never, kind of said hi to. Actually, very nice people, So you kind of adjust. Some of it is not great. It's not fun, but find your fun another way. Redefine what fun is for you. Okay? Is that helpful? Go ahead.
Okay, another question. Do you see any positivity coming soon? Like COVID going away, no more mask wearing?
Yeah, I said that many times that COVID is not just COVID. COVID is part of a much bigger plan that's going to unfold in phases, So it's kind of an excuse to start to get us used to the idea that you have to be home, you have to be secluded, and we're going to tell you what to do. That's what COVID is about. Of course, it's a real virus, and of course, but my point is it's a bigger story. So that's the reason why it's going to unfold into another wave and another phase and other things that will take away your freedom. That's what we talked about. But like I said, so the masks, no, I think they're going to force you to wear masks in most places. And guess what? To be honest, I've never worn a mask so far. And I'm not telling people you shouldn't wear a mask. I'm just telling you what I've done. And you still have to decide. I mean, don't be crazy. If you're going to a hospital, you have to wear a mask. Hello. So, but what I'm saying is maybe, later in the future, there'll be many sick people or something, and I'm going to feel, okay, it's time to wear a mask. I'm just telling you right now, that's what I've created. And so, but to answer your question, even when they do impose masks, you can still, for example, very practical. Again, how do you create your reality within the collective? The rule is you have to wear a mask. If not, $300 fine. I think it's in California right now. So what if I create my reality? I don't want to wear a mask, for example. And so I have to decide, which is the path of least resistance. To just when I'm outside, just wear a mask and be done with it. I don't have to worry about it. Or say, no, I'm not going to wear a mask, no matter what. But I'm going to make myself invisible. And I guarantee that I can go through any store, any place, come back home without a mask. Nobody would see me. I would never pay $300. So there is no right or wrong. There is no better or worse. It's who you are, what you want to create, what you want to do with your life. And so again, to say that there's not just one way, one outcome, the fact that these laws are coming out and being imposed on you does not change the fact that you can still make a choice. Okay. And the faster you empower yourself, the less things will be imposed on you. In other words, how should I say this? The more you doubt yourself, the more you question your ability to create, the more vulnerable you become. So for example, when that cop stopped me, not for a split second did I doubt. And I quickly had to make a decision. Do I make a decision that the fine is not like $800 or maybe probably more, but just like I can get away with like a number, give me a number like $50 or something, That was one choice. And the other choice is to come out of this completely free, right? So quickly, when I was in the situation, I made the choice and I went for it. I didn't doubt. I didn't say, well, if it doesn't work, well, at least maybe it's $50 instead of, $500 or whatever. So I just went for it. So my point is, your focus, your intent, and your clarity, and your belief, and your intention has to be so strong that the outcome has there's a lesser chance of uncertainty for the outcome to become real, if that makes sense. So that's why I'm telling you this. That's why I'm giving you tools. That's why we're doing the superhuman set classes. It's not for you to bend the spoon. Who cares about the spoon? This is just a silly thing. It's about understanding how you're creating. You are the one that's reaching in the world of probability and bringing it into existence, because it hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. You haven't happened yet. You are still in the process of becoming. Think about that for a second. This is so important. From the traditional or the typical way of thinking, we are physical, finite, and the physical world is happening to us, and we have to make a decision according to what the physical world looks like. All right? Go ahead. Next question.
All right. You mentioned a natural disaster this year before. Any updates on this?
Yeah. Again, I feel that the man-made natural disasters are still being orchestrated, but I feel that the real natural disasters are orchestrated by a higher consciousness, not humans, obviously. And this have to do with, again, coming in at the time and the place that need disruption or a major, for example, and this is how I talked about this, like, how do you trust, or how do you believe that there could be divine intervention? For example, let's say they're putting up, speaking of 5G, they're putting up 5G towers, or they're shooting all these satellites. What's his name? Xavier. Elon Musk. Yeah, Elon Musk. They're shooting all these satellites. They're going to be very low in orbit. Everybody's going to see them. They're going to be bombarding us with energy, and that's like the new internet and who knows what else. Anyway, so this is happening. So if it comes to a point where whatever humans are doing is interfering with the evolution of a species, again, there's different levels and different aspects. So this is just in simple terms. If it's starting to change the outcome of the divine plan, if you will, the larger divine intelligence, then that intelligence is going to interfere, and a natural disaster will come in and knock out, 3 of these satellites or whatever, 2 of these, whatever. That's how it works. And of course, you have to trust that this is part of the bigger picture. Now, who are these beings and how does it work? And when we talk about divine intervention or something interfering, it's not like this, like these beings like stepping in, like, and stepping out of a UFO and coming down. And it's not like that. It's, first of all, it's more spiritual and energetic, and it's more on that level. But again, for those who have been studying with me, know what I'm talking about. Others can read the book, The Divine Plan Now and Beyond 2250. Lots of information on that, and you will know more what I'm talking about. But so what happens, it's more of an organic, it's the divine plan has to do with the plan, the evolution of an entire universe. It's not just planet Earth. It's not just, one species like humans or whatever. It's about the all. It's about the all that is. It's like a whole body. And I talked about this last time. If the body's infected with a virus that, is a local thing, then the body's going to take care of itself and it's fine. But if the virus is about to invade the whole body, for the body to become defective and perish or whatever, then the immune system of the body is going to come in and kick in and step in to eradicate this virus. So it's a little bit like that. The universe has within it that sort of immune system, that, again, divine plan, that allows it to continuously thrive. The DNA of the universe is thriving, is not self-destruction. So if something comes that is in conflict with it, then there is exactly a time where those beings and that energy will step in. Okay, next.
Another question. I've heard that Trump has a safer vaccine underway to stop the Bill Gates depopulation agenda. Is this a possibility?
Yes, and there are actually several people that have different types of vaccines already underway, and they're asking for grants. Some are private organizations, and others are, government, as you know. And so I still see potential for, that's why the vaccine is still a potential. It's not even here, actually. And it's obviously very politically motivated, and orchestrated, not to mention the depopulation agenda based as well. And so I think honestly, right now, there's nothing to worry about, because none of these agendas or plans are yet to come. We also talked about the world of probability in my books and my classes, for those who remember. So this is a perfect example of vaccine being a part of the world of probability. So what happens in the world of probability, there's a choice, there is option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4. Option 1 is Bill Gates creates a vaccine and it's for depopulation. And so how much momentum does this option 1 have in the world of probability? Another option two is Trump or somebody else is creating another vaccine that is doing something else. And another option three is another organization. So it's almost like a car race, exactly like that. So which car, which option has the highest level of momentum? That is the one that will eventually succeed. Having said that, I have to say that and of course it is amplified by us, our intention, fueling option one, option two, option three. If many people believe in Bill Gates, then not only he's already has, kind of a leeway, he already is ahead of the plan. And so, but more, those people are then fueling, giving him more advance, if you will. Those who believe in something else are now fueling this option and that option. And so I have to say, like right now, when I look at all the options for vaccine, the Bill Gates one has the highest momentum. Why? Because it's been planned and orchestrated from I don't know how many years. And so, and because of who he is and the marketing and the money and all that stuff, has that level of becoming a reality. But other plans are getting quite close. And this is where you come in. Again, we talked about this last time. The way you create reality within the collective, even though you don't see your thoughts, they're very much there. I see your thoughts, I hear your thoughts, so I know they're there and you know they're there, but you don't know that they are there as an actual frequency, as a fuel agent. We talked about it registering within the time-space fabric of reality. Again, let's not complicate things with technical, details, but just imagine that your thought, every time you think, you are sending a signal, an electromagnetic signal that you can imagine, and it's being mixed and added to other electromagnetic signals that are part of space itself, the fabric of space itself. We know space has a magnetic field, so you can, again, imagine that it's being mixed with the magnetic field. The magnetic field is, is part of the entire planet, goes around the planet. So everybody's actually receiving that same signal. Even you thought it when you were sitting very comfortably in your living room. This is, I'm telling you, at one point, scientists are going to catch up with this reality because they can't measure, because they don't even have devices to measure, a thought. But that's what's the way it works. And so when that's what we were talking about last time. That's how it becomes a reality, when it becomes part of the fabric of time space. And so you have to hold your thought 14 seconds for that, thing to happen. And so that is how, the more you think, instead of thinking, oh my God, Bill Gates, oh my God, fear, guess what you're doing actually? You're focusing on what you don't want. So you're actually fueling an idea that's already there. So you're adding to the probability of that thought becoming real. That's exactly how it works. Whereas you look at what's happening, oh, okay, that doesn't feel good to me. All right, I'm switching. I'm now focusing on what I want and giving this new option the fuel that I believe in. Does that make sense? And before you know it, this translates into petitions, laws, whatever, government things, or communities coming together, doing things. The more there is fuel, the more this option becomes a reality. So guess where you should be focused right now? Guess what you should be doing now? Nothing. Thinking is free. All you have to do is just sit and think and project your intention exactly on the option that you want. And then again, do you want an option, with a vaccine or no vaccine? Don't forget, there's option 3, 4, 5, 6. There's option 3 that is no vaccine whatsoever. And somehow this whole thing is going to, collapse and it will just dissolve, So anyway, does that make sense? And do you see how it all comes back to you? So what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Again, I still have to know what's going on, but then bring it back to you. What do I need to do to create what I want? Okay, next.
Yeah.
There's so many questions, but I'm hoping this is making sense.
A friend of mine has still a lot of physical problems after having corona last February. What can you say about that?
I'm sorry, what is it? My what has a problem?
A friend of mine has a problem after having the coronavirus last February. What can you say about that?
Yes, and because this was a virus that got manipulated and engineered and that it could still have some sort of leftover issues. But I also do know, I actually don't know anybody myself. I know people who told me they know, but those people would say also that they got it and they got over it in 5 days and they were fine. So my point is, again, the potential of being sick. Once you become sick, you have option one, it stays with you for several months. Option two, you get over in 5 days and you're done. Option three, it's a really, really bad, virus, and then you end up in, so there's many options. And so probably the level of probability has to do with how you're feeling, what you believe in. Do you believe your immune system is strong enough that even if you got the virus, you get viruses all the time. You're full of viruses, by the way. Everybody has viruses. But even like a really bad flu, even cancer is a virus. Hello. We get HIV is a virus. There's all kinds of things that you can master and get rid of, with your immune system. So I would say, bring it back to you, knowing that you don't have to fit into one picture that has been drawn for you, but bring it back to you. Who am I? What do I believe in myself? Do I believe that my body is intelligent, that it's okay if something happens? You eat stuff that is wrong, that messes you up sometimes. So, all right, so this happened. I'm not going to judge myself then, but I know that no matter what happens, my body knows how to self-repair. I want to focus on that. Give that a fuel. Reprogram yourself and give fuel to the one option that you really, really, really want. All right? Probably last question.
All right. Well, last question maybe. Hi, what is the best way to manifest what we want? Are intentions enough, or do we have to visualize also?
Okay, so I can tell this is not the law of attraction. The law of attraction is super, super, super small as part of how you really create your reality. I highly recommend for everyone to go, even the folks who studied with me know what I'm talking about, but I also actually covered it, I think 2 webcasts ago. But go to my website, CarolineCorey.com, and go to online classes and take the creative formula class. I'm telling you, this stuff will change your life because you will understand how you create, how you are creating subconsciously, how to figure out what you're creating subconsciously, how you're choosing the wrong option by mistake, and how to change that. It talks about the intention, the desire, the passion, the belief, but also karma, because sometimes you think, maybe it's my karma to be sick for 7 years and then I get over my karma. There is that component too, but I also give you a way to understand karma in a whole new way and how you can go about it as well. So mastering the creative formula on my website, I urge everybody to go there and to download it. It's just life-changing, I think. So you get the gist of it. I think the idea is, I'm hoping that at the end of this webcast, it's brought you kind of this, you shifted your perspective of, I don't know what my future looks like. And you don't. But guess what? You never knew what your future looked like. Never. You thought you knew. You were under this illusion, you're living in this illusion that you are safe. You were never safe. You were never finished. You were never complete. You were never, and the physical reality also was never finished and complete. And so now the only difference is now it's in your face. That's the only difference. So I'm hoping that when you realize that, you will take your power back and start to say, I am still who I am in terms of my creative abilities. Okay. You're still, I give you many examples, many, how you can still create within what is being created for you. All right. And also, yeah, I just caught a little comment here. It's actually, that is actually the game. I mean, that is actually the game. Even people who are psychic, sometimes they say, well, if you already know what's going to happen, like, I mean, can't you just avoid it or something like that? Well, guess what? We still, a part of us also comes here knowing that that is the game of not knowing. I mean, and so sometimes you tap into the future or the collective to retrieve just enough information that you need so that you still create. Because if there is no level of uncertainty, if you know every single thing that is going to happen every single moment, you cannot have a physical human experience. You cannot. Because it's like you're stopping from becoming. You are kind of making yourself finished within this time-space reality. And it just doesn't work this way. Either you're alive or you're not, you see. And that is hugely important. And so how do you cultivate this? How do you strengthen yourself? Just, again, shifting your perspective, like what we've done today. You are always an illusion of being safe. You're always an illusion of being totally free. You're not always free. There's always some limitation of some sort. It's just a little different. That's all. You're always having to create everything from scratch, and you're the one who does that. So other than shifting your perspective, there's 100 tools that I share on this YouTube channel. And again, if I haven't said it enough, for those who are new, subscribe. There's all kinds of free stuff on this YouTube channel, even on my website. And this is your time. Like, this is the time to do this. Like, what are you waiting for? You stop thinking that you could be a victim. You know, first of all, that hasn't happened yet. Nothing has happened yet. And so that's another thing. Use these tools, plenty of tools, connect with people like we're doing right now that are on the same vibrational level. And I said that many times, connect to source. Again, yesterday it was amazing. We talked about source as being the all that is. Think about this. You are an individual stream of consciousness, piece of consciousness, piece of consciousness, piece of consciousness. The people creating the virus, the pandemic, they're all like a bunch of little pieces of consciousness. Then you have the collective of humanity. Then you have the planet. Yeah, it's okay. And then you have like the solar system. You have all these individual units of consciousness, and you are creating and they are creating. What they're creating is not as nice or whatever. You're in conflict. But source is beyond all of this. It actually encompasses all of this. It's all that is. So why do you focus on this guy or that guy or like down here? Why do you make yourself so small and linear to try to find information from others in this linear sense when you can tap into the all that is, the source energy that has all the answers, all the energy that you need, all the power that you need for you to create. So connecting to source, again, please don't tell me I meditate already. Nothing to do. This specific meditation downloads. Begin to visualize that every time you do this connection, connecting to source, you are like little particles of source are being downloaded in your body. Little piece of all that is, think about that. Piece of all that is coming into your body and making it bigger and bigger and bigger. You're expanding your consciousness because you are bringing information from all of it. And when you do that enough times, because you already are made of source, you are in resonance with it, you're just adding to your personal source energy. You become larger and larger and larger and larger, not in weight, but in mass, consciousness mass. You become much more filled with source energy. Source energy is all that is. You become the match of all that is in physical form. What is more powerful? What else do you need other than that original energy that will help you create whatever you want? Because now, you are tapped into the energy of everything that is much, much, much bigger than what everybody else is creating. Make sense? Okay, guys. That's it for today. I hope this was empowering enough. I hope this was useful enough. Again, tools, tons of tools, CarolineCorey.com, on the YouTube channel, subscribe. And please go to superhumanfilm.com and download the movie right now. And I'll see you next week with my new guests, scientists, actors, friends, all kinds of fun people. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for joining and see you next time. Bye.